What's going on, everyone? MetalBlade427 here, and I present to you my next LP, and one that I've been looking forward to doing for quite some time. Kingdom Hearts 1.5 Final Mix Remix. This version of the game was released in 2013, published by Square Enix and Disney Interactive. It contains 2 full games and 1 movie, of sorts. The first game is the new Final Mix version of Kingdom Hearts 1, which is basically your definitive version of Kingdom Hearts 1. You have every possible weapon, every cutscene, every boss, and any other special moment you can think of, all wrapped up into one nicely, neatly packed game. Also, there's a few skin color swaps for our characters as you go through it. Some good, some not so good, but you'll see them as we go along. In addition to that, you also get a port version of Kingdom Hearts Re-Chain of Memories, which was originally on the PlayStation 2 and was a port of the Game Boy game of the same name. Of course, the one on PlayStation 2 has CGI cutscene and voice acting. This is the card-based battle system. Last, we have Kingdom Hearts 358 over 2 days, which was a game that was released for the Game Boy DS that you can now watch as a 2-hour-long movie comprised of various cutscenes from the game, long paragraphs, and storyline elements, so you don't have to actually go play it. Now, at some point, I'll get around to playing Chain of Memories, but for right now, I'm just going to be playing Kingdom Hearts 1, so let's start that up. The original Kingdom Hearts was released for PlayStation 2 back in 2002, published by Squaresoft at the time. This was before they bought Enix. It is an action RPG where we take control of the main character, Sora. Along his journey, Sora will encounter various characters from Final Fantasy games. Those are all owned by Square. But mostly, we will fight alongside as well as against popular characters from the Disney universe. For example, Donald Duck and Goofy are his partners for the vast majority of the game. They are the ones that will be assisting him in battle, following him from world to world, and it'll be the 3 of them going through, like I said, the vast majority of the game, fighting evil and trying to figure out where other characters are, Sora's friends and King Mickey and all that other stuff. When Kingdom Hearts was first released in 2002, it had features in it that the Japanese game didn't, a rarity among the gaming world. A few months after that, I think like 6 months to a year or so, Japan released Final Mix of its own. This then had the American stuff in it, plus new stuff for itself. And now here we are with this version, which not only has the American stuff, but as well as the Japanese stuff, as well as even more stuff for us to encounter. So it's all crazy, and we have so much in order to cover. And this is going to be a 100% complete run. Now, what makes it 100% complete? I will be filling Jiminy's journal. I will be collecting all weapons. I will be synthesizing all items. I will be finding all Dalmatians. I will be finding all Trinity Marks. And I will be defeating every enemy and boss in the game. All of which I'll explain as I go through the game. I will not be doing all the Gummi missions. Actually, I probably won't be doing any Gummi missions, to be honest with you. But I will be upgrading the ship as I go through the game just to make things easier. And I'm just moving that thing up and down right now so I don't activate the auto cutscene that happens in the middle of it all and everything. Kingdom Hearts has 3 levels of difficulty. Should you start the game on beginner, you will start the game with 8 strength ups, 8 defense ups, and 8 AP ups. All these are stat boosting items that you can get in the game. It's just you start with 8 of them, which will make things ridiculously easy, as well as an EXP necklace, which will increase EXP gain and plus 2 AP, and a ribbon, which is plus 3 defense and will increase defense on all different types of attack, making the game even more ridiculously easy than it already is in beginner mode. The next mode would be normal, which is basically normal. You know, as it says, it's good for first-time players and will give a good general feel of the game, a decent challenge, and you'll be able to unlock everything, you'll be able to find everything, and is pretty much what I would recommend to anybody that's new to the Kingdom Hearts series. Might as well start on the normal mode. And then, of course, you have Proud Mode, which would be your hard. All the enemies will be doing more damage, they will have more health, and it'll be a greater challenge for Kingdom Hearts veterans and all the like. Keep in mind, all the information that I will be giving you from here on out is all based on the Final Mix version, which things are different, and are based on normal. I think in hard mode, you only have maybe a 5 to 10% increase in most people's health and everything. So just everything is based on the normal mode Final Mix. And all this stuff doesn't matter. So the last thing I want to talk about before I begin the game is every Kingdom Hearts game starts with an amazing CGI opening sequence, and this one is no exception, usually done by the Japanese pop star Utada Hikaru. Specifically, this game has Simple and Clean in it. Amazing song and an amazing cutscene, and I would love nothing more than to show you guys this, but I know my video will get flagged immediately before it even has a chance to go live. So, click the annotation that you see here. I believe it's going to be on the yes button that I'm going to put it. It'll bring you over to a separate video that you can watch the cutscene, and as soon as that is done, hit that annotation over there and come on back, or just leave this window open because it should pop open to a separate window anyway. Enjoy the cutscene. Here we go. So much to do. So little time. Take your time. Don't be afraid. Well, that's a contradictory statement for you. The door is still shut. Now step forward. Can you do it? Alright, so after that, here we are finding ourselves in what is basically the Dive into the Heart segment, where it is basically a tutorial. It's going to teach you how to do the basic functions of the game. As well as that, we're going to be on top of these beautiful stained glass princess platforms. As you can see right here, we have Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. You will be getting all types of information as we go through the game, mostly basing around how to do stuff, moving, jumping, picking items up, and the basics of combat, and that'll be taught to us through various cutscenes and experiences that we'll be getting through this little tutorial. But first, we need to make a choice. Power sleeps within you. If you give it form, it will give you strength. Choose well. What we must do now is we have a choice to make. We also can press circle to jump. Circle to jump, remember that. We must choose one of these 3 items as our starting kind of like stats and ability tree. In addition to that, we then must give one up. We have the Dream Sword, we have the Dream Rod, and then finally we have the Dream Shield. We will pick one of these and we will give one of them up, and this will determine how Sora levels up throughout the course of the game. It only affects the starting stats, but it affects what abilities you learn. So let me introduce them one by one. The Power of the Warrior. Invincible Courage. A sword of terrible destruction. Is this the power you seek? As far as stats go, choosing the Dream Sword, of course, will give you an initial starting strength better than either of the other two. My whole thing is that there are plenty of things in the game that will influence your strength. The weapons you get will increase your strength. You'll be able to get strength ups and things like that. So starting with a lower strength, even by 1 or 2 points, doesn't really make or break the game. It's usually why I don't start with the sword myself. As far as what you learn going through the game, choosing the sword means that the magic special abilities that Sora learns, he won't get until much later on in the game, specifically past level 50. He, of course, will get a lot of his combo boosts and everything like that, and you do get a level 9 scan. So the sooner you get scan, at least in my opinion, the better the game is, because at least you can keep track of how much health all the characters and enemies have as you proceed through the game. The Power of the Mystic. Inner Strength. A staff of wonder and ruin. Is this the power you seek? For all you magic users out there, the Dream Rod is definitely your equipment. You will have 2 extra MP by the time the game is done by choosing the rod. It doesn't matter what you sacrifice, you will have 2 extra MP, which in the long run is actually quite helpful. It may not seem like a lot, but once you see how MP works in this game, you realize that 2 extra MP is a make or break thing. As far as in terms of what you learn and when, it will be a long time before you get any combo pluses or anything along that ways. And then the item gaining ones like Jackpot and Lucky Strike don't happen for quite a ways into the game either. But you do get Ripple Drive at level 12. And what Ripple Drive is, it's a new ability for this game that does more damage depending on how much MP you have. And being that you're already getting 2 extra MP by the end of the game, Ripple Drive will be a very, very strong offensive ability. So feel free to give up the sword if you want that too, and just gain a little bit of defense. You are a magic user after all. The power of the Guardian. Kindness to aid friends. A shield to repel all. Is this the power you seek? As far as defense is concerned, yeah, choosing the shield will give you a higher defense by the end of the game, but really the main purpose of choosing the shield would be giving you an extra item slot by the end of it. None of the other ones will give you 8 items by the time you finish the game compared to the shield, or at least by the time you hit level 100, I should say. And that can be very helpful for certain bosses in this game, especially ones where you need to continuously replenish your magic, and there's not much for you to be able to do that. So having one extra item in your inventory to help bring up your magic really does help. As far as what skills you learn and when, I don't like the shield only because you don't learn scan until 21, and all of your MP stuff and your combos and everything like that aren't learned until way, way, way late in the game. But you do get Lucky Strike fairly early, as well as Treasure Magnet and Jackpot, all within, like, before the level 50 mark. And let me tell you, level 6 Slapshot is extremely useful for this early in the game. So as far as my choices go, I am going to choose the shield. That will be the one that I go with, because I've always chosen the shield before, so there we go with that. My path is set, and as it says, I'm going to need to give up something, and that will determine whatever Sora's opening stats are. He will gain the same stats in the same order throughout, the entire game, no matter which one you choose. So if you choose the first time Sora levels up, he will gain 1 point to strength, no matter if he chose the sword, the rod, or the shield. So everything will grow at the same rate. It's just what the overall stats are going to be. So by me giving up the sword, I will have AP 3, Strength 4, Defense 4, 3 items, 2 accessories, 18 HP, and 2 MP, which is fine by me, because MP will not become a factor until later. So I've given up the power of the warrior. But I have the power of the guardian, so is this the form you choose? You could go back and choose no, but of course I'm going to say yes. And apparently the Dream Rod is just now lost into oblivion, like no one is like, whatever. And speaking of which, oh no, we're falling even deeper into oblivion. Oh, I like that stained glass platform thing. And we falling. He's so graceful with his falls. Seeing a lot of those swirling Kingdom Hearts logos too down in the bottom right corner. And our next platform is right here. It is Cinderella. I like this one. It's pretty. It's a very nice, cool colored one, with the purples and the blues and like the very shiny silvers and everything. And we get our weapon. We've gained the power to fight. I'm pretty sure Shield wouldn't make that whoosh sound, but hey, whatever. Alright, now you can see in the bottom left corner we have a command bar, we have an attack, as well as 3 other lines. Those will be filled in as we learn stuff throughout the game. And if we hit X, we swing! Alright, you got it. That's right, we did good. Use this power to protect yourself and others. The green gauge displays your HP, hit points, or health. That would be in the bottom right, as you can see down there, over Sora's head. If it runs out and hits 0, we'll be going to a game over screen, and we can just choose continue. There are various checkpoints in the game, like right before a boss battle or when you enter a room. So if you happen to die, you would just kind of begin right at that moment. The 2 blue lines there are the magic points. We still don't know anything about magic, but they are very useful. And again, even though there's only 2 MP there, it will be very easily to use magic quite often. There will be times you will have to fight. Keep your light burning strong. And here we are going up against some of our first enemies in the game. I'm going to go over stats and information about the enemies a little bit later on, because again, this is just tutorial. You beat them up, and it just took a little bit for them to go away. You gain experience by defeating enemies, of course, because that would be every RPG, and the more experience you earn, the more levels you'll gain. Furthermore, different enemies sometimes leave items behind. You can take these items by walking up to them, and they will just kind of be drawn to you. The green things that you saw dropped are HP balls, so they will increase Sora's HP by 1 if he's in need of it, and that's kind of one of the many ways that you'd be able to heal yourself. Wow. Behind you! Generally, you'll automatically target your nearest enemy, which is a little clunky in my opinion from time to time, or you can press the R1 button to lock onto an enemy, in which case you'll see the word lock on that'll come up in the upper left corner, and then there'll be a blue circle locked onto whoever it is that you are, well, locked onto, and as you run, you'll strafe them, you'll circle them, and the camera will follow you accordingly. You can hit the R1 button to unlock as well, which sometimes will help if the camera's starting to get a little bit crazy on you. Because even though I did set it to auto, I believe, the camera I wish followed me a little bit better. This is just one thing that hasn't been fixed through the entire game, that the camera is still going to be pretty crazy. There's still going to be things in the world that'll be in your way, and you just have to deal with it as you come along. You can use the right analog stick, though, to move the camera. And again, we're losing whatever platform we're on, and we're falling into some swirly, purplish black oozy. Ooh, boy, there it goes. Get it off, get it off. Oh, wait, no, nothing. Good. Alright, so now we have another interesting platform here. This one is very pink, and there are 3 hearts on it with silhouettes inside of the hearts. These represent characters in the game that haven't been found yet, and that's a very ambiguous way to put it without giving away any stories, so just leave it as that. Me personally, they kind of look like Princess Peach here and there, but they represent 3 other princesses that we will meet in the game, and I heavily air quote princess. Moving up to the door here, you'll see that the field icon then pops up. This is something a little bit different for Final Mix than it was for the original Kingdom Hearts. A lot of stuff required you to press triangle in order to interact with it, but some things also required you to hit X. I believe talking to people or something like that, you were able to hit X to talk to people. Now, triangle does it all. Everything that you need to do, you just hit triangle. If it's not an action, then you got it covered. So you want to examine the doorway, you want to hit triangle. By doing so, Sora stares at the see-through doorway and realizes he can't open it. Probably can stick your hand through it, though. The light shines down, and we have ourselves a treasure chest. These are going to be very important because, of course, in this type of RPG, you're going to be wanting to find chests all over, and they will have all kinds of good stuff in it. And you'll be able to press triangle to open them as well. So by doing that, we tapped on it. I don't know how. We were nowhere near it, but it still opened, and we would have gotten whatever was in it if there was anything. And then they introduce you to this other mechanic of pushing blocks around. Something that you're really not going to use that much in the game, but it's just to show you that you can do it, to help you with your platforming elements. If I smash it, come on, there we go, and boom! We get our first item, a potion. Now it has become in our inventory now, and went automatically into Sora's stock, I guess you can say, the stuff that he's personally holding. And in order to use that, which I will show you momentarily, is just telling you can use L2 to switch between targets. You use the directional pad to move down to the items, and then you can choose potion, and then you can choose who in your party you need to use it to. So it's a little bit of a path in order to use it, but you get used to it after a while. And then hitting L2 will be able to jump between targets if you have multiple guys that you need to fight. So I am just going to target this barrel. You can go over to the barrel, and you can pick it up with triangle. Because again, triangle will do everything that has nothing to do with fighting. Apparently that was the magic thing to open the door, hitting or picking up the barrel. And the barrel's gone! So, picking it up, it disappeared, and it became a door. So, now that it's solid, I wonder what's on the other side. It's one of those trick doors where no matter how many times you run around it, you're still going to go through something strange. It's all bright and shining. Walk towards the light, Sora. Walk towards the light. But hold on. The door won't open just yet. Didn't it just open for us? Or a door? I don't know. First, tell me more about yourself. You can press select to go into first person view, and then you can push select to go out of it, and that's all that is. But right here, as you can see, as we look around, we are in a very strange island place surrounded by 3 characters. These characters are from Final Fantasy games. First, we have sitting here Miss Selphie. She is from Final Fantasy VIII in a very cute kid form they made her here. Next, we have Tidus from Final Fantasy X, or Titus, depending on however you feel like pronouncing his name. And then finally, we have Waka holding his Blitzball, signature weapon from Final Fantasy X as well. The purpose of this area is that we are going to be talking to each one of these characters. They are going to ask us a question, and we have 3 answers that we have available to give them. Depending on what answers we give will determine how fast we level up in the game. So Selphie asks, what's most important to you? Being number 1, friendship, or my prized possessions? If you choose the first answer, that will determine, basically if you choose the first answer on all 3 of the characters, you will level up pretty quickly. You won't need that much experience to level up pretty quickly from level 1 through 50. But after that, you're going to need a massive amount of experience in order to get from 50 in order to 100. You'll actually need the most amount of experience in the game to get from 50 to 100. If you choose the center, everything will be evenly distributed, and if you choose the last one, it'll be a long time before you get from level 1 to 50, but once you hit level 50, you'll go pretty quickly from 50 through 100. So I'm just going to stick with a nice even playthrough right now. All 3 answers are going to be the same, or at least they're going to be the center answer. So let's go over to Titus and see what he has to say. What are you afraid of? You're afraid of getting old? You're afraid of being different? You're afraid of being indecisive. It's like playing Cards Against Humanity, except with not as many dirty answers. I'm afraid of being different. You win. And then also, you'll know what path you've particularly chosen by what the words are at the end of it. Waka asks, what do you want out of life? See rare sights, broaden my horizons, or to be strong? Of course, I'm going to choose to broaden my horizons. By choosing all 3 of these, it's going to tell me that my journey will begin at midday. If I chose all the top ones, it will tell me that my journey will begin at dawn, and all the bottom ones will begin at dusk. And there are various combinations, like you can choose the first one, the second, or whatever, and it's all depending on what one of the 3 paths that the game chooses, or that you've chosen for yourself, determine your answer. So you can always go back and change it. I think it's fine. Sounds good. Moving on. The day you open the door is both far off and very near. Well, that doesn't help me at all. That's like saying it's sometime. It could be today, it could be tomorrow, it could be 10 years from now, it could be never. We don't know. I think this is probably my favorite of the stained glass platforms. I love the way that Aurora looks in this. I like the coloring. I like all the vines and the thorns all around it. And it's just a very, very pretty piece. I'm trying to get a better look at it. And you can look up, see the weird little lightning shining down on you. But it is a very, very pretty piece. It's one of my favorites. But I know if you move up to, I believe, around her neck-ish area, it'll trigger the cutscene. There we go. So it tells you if you press start, you can go into the start menu. That I'm going to talk about in a later episode, because that's a little bit in its own right. Because that's going through all like the main menus that we can go through during the game. For right now, I'm just going to let it go. And we have more of these bad guys surrounding us. These are shadows, by the way. And again, I'll explain more about these guys a little bit later, probably when we actually start the game itself, because they are everywhere. Shadows can be found in every level, and they grow in strength, and they're just going to be your most common enemy that you will fight throughout the course of this game. And it'd be very nice if I can actually land some hits. Now, as you can see, they are dropping these green balls. As I said, they're the HP balls. They will increase Sora's health if I ever take any damage. So my whole point right now is to hit them as much as possible and collect the green balls and keep my health up, so this way I don't die in the tutorial, which would be really sad. I don't, so it just still would be really sad. There you go, took him out. Sky combo, air combo, up combo, whatever. And that is a very useful thing as well. This little circular thing down there. If I just get over, yes, I know I'm collecting the HP balls. Alright, I don't need them. And I go all green when I'm collecting them as well. This is your save point. There's actually multiple types of save points. This is the one that you would want mostly because it'll be able to get you on and off planets depending on where you are. But all of them will replenish your HP and MP whenever you step on them. And not just for Sora, but for anybody in your party. And that is an extremely useful feature to the save points. Keep that in mind whenever you're around a place with the save point, to run to it and touch it as soon as you can. It will refill your health and it will refill your magic. Plus you can save. Don't forget to save. I'm very bad at remembering to save sometimes, so Alrighty then, so now after that was said and done, we can go up that little thing. Oh yeah, here's the save menu. Lots of stuff that we don't have to worry about right now. Menu, party, and save itself, but I'll save later again. Moving up this stained glass walkway, you don't have to worry about falling off or anything like that. There's like invisible walls here left and right, so you don't have to worry about falling into the endless abyss that's below you. Just move along to the next stained glass platform, and unfortunately we don't really get a good view of this one. I'm going to try to do what I can to show you what I can from it. It's Beauty and the Beast. So you have Beast to the left and Belle is in the center, and you know she's wearing her beautiful yellow dress that is iconic to the movie. But as you move forward, I'm going to be triggering the cutscene in order to try to get a good shot, but hey, what can you do? The closer you get to the light, the greater your shadow becomes. Thus represented by Sora's shadow growing and apparently becoming 3D. Oh boy. But don't be afraid. Easy for you to say, Mr. Voice. You're not on a platform with something big. Oh boy. And don't forget. Don't forget what? Whoa. Okay. That's not the right way. Oh boy. Well, you're large and menacing. Okay, well, Mr. Voice in his head decided he doesn't want to tell us what we shouldn't forget. Instead, we're thrown into our first, you can call it a boss battle, because that's technically what it is. This is Darkseid, and again, I will be going over him a little bit later, and I really got to be careful because I'm taking a lot of damage right now. This is what happens when your health gets below a certain percentage. You'll be doing that stupid beep 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 sound. So I need to kill them, and I need to collect the HP balls in order to stop the alarm. Come on. There we go, much better. So Darkseid we will come across again a little bit later. It's a lot sooner than you think, actually. But our main goal is to hit him in the hand as many times as possible. Now he's shooting off these little fireballs at us right here. If I manage to hit one of them, which I will, I believe, soon, you'll actually see something come up that says Tech. There it is, and that's actually enabled me to gain a level. It said Tech 1P. This is something to Kingdom Hearts 1 that's not in any of the other Kingdom Hearts, and that's Tech points. If you manage to parry somebody or deflect an attack or something like that, you will actually earn experience points. So there are some enemies in this game where it's pretty good in terms of grinding out levels by just sitting there and mashing tech points after tech points out of them. Plus, if you saw from the skills that you'll learn tech point plus every so often. That means that you will earn more tech points for every time you parry something or countered or things along that ways. Now we just have to worry about beating Darkseid, who again is really not that hard. You just have to learn to avoid his attacks. They're pretty simple, they're pretty straightforward. Stay away from his fist when he's going to punch the ground, unlike what I did before. And then just kind of jump at him and swing your, well, whatever weapon you have. I chose the shield, so of course Sora's walking around with the shield. If you chose the Dream Sword, you have the sword. If you chose the rod, you'd have the rod. We beat him, so it's slow motion awesomeness. Yeah. But don't be afraid. You said that already. Behold the mightiest weapon of all. So don't forget. You are the one who will open the door. What door? What? Cryptic messages. Bah! That's what I have to say to you. Stuff that we should remember for the very end of the game, which is hours from now. Please. Oh, it's a nice sunshiny day. Ain't that wonderful? Yay.
Whoa! Give me a break, Kyrie.
Sorry, you lazy bum. I knew that I'd find you snoozing down here.
No, this huge black thing swallowed me up. I couldn't breathe, Ow!
Are you still dreaming?
It wasn't a dream. Or was it? I don't know. What was that place? So bizarre.
Yeah, sure.
Say, Kyrie, what was your hometown like? You know, where you grew up?
I've told you before. I don't remember.
Nothing at all?
Nothing.
You ever want to go back?
Well, I'm happy here.
Really?
But you know, I wouldn't mind going to see it.
I'd like to see it too. Along with any other worlds out there. I want to see them all.
So what are we waiting for?
Hey! Aren't you guys forgetting about me? So, I guess I'm the only one working on the raft.
Ah!
And you're just as lazy as he is.
So you know this. Okay, we'll finish it together. I'll race you.
Huh?
What? Are you kidding?
Ready? Go!
And with that, the destinies of these three children begin to unfold. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to rate and comment down below, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button to get equipped with me, Metal Blade 427. Thank you for watching the tutorial episode of my LP, and be sure to come back for more Kingdom Hearts Final Mix. I will catch you all later.